This is the Transparency Podcast Show.
And Alex, I want to give you just another opportunity because I think what my true intention of this podcast was to air out the spit roast a little bit. Yes, I'm calling it that because that's what you called it, darling. So I'm just going to use your own PR. But I really want to bring some healing to the space because all three of us honestly represent different dynamics, different growing up differently, and how we were able to come into this space. And even the other side, the conservative side, I honestly had no issue. I thought they were great at presenting their points. I think at one point I was able to shake a hand of you know, the veteran because thank you for the service. Sarah,
And we had middle ground on some things.
Yeah.
I even had middle ground with Blair. I even agreed with her on certain things. So it was just like
she didn't want to agree with other people. Even if she did agree, she didn't want to agree. And that was the difference. And that's why I said, I don't know if it's in the extended cut, but I said, I didn't, if you come in here arm swinging, like you're not gonna, there's, why are you even here?
Yeah.
It's called middle ground. It's not called attack the opposition.
Yeah.
This is not called war. It's called middle ground.
Yeah.
And I feel like she totally missed that. You know, anyway, honestly, like I really don't even want to say her name again for like the rest of my life. You know, I would love for this to be like the seal on that chapter because I have other chapters in my life. I have a whole ass life ahead of me that I have to live. I have a whole lot more work that I need to do. I have a whole lot more educational videos that I want to put out. I have a lot more help that I want to build resources for people to help them, like transgender people, non-binary people. I want to do that. I have so much to do other than to sit here and talk about Blair. You know, and I think that's what I wanted to do on the show is I wanted to actually go there, to be honest, and just kind of explain or talk about my experience, my non-binary experience. So maybe other people could relate. Maybe other people who don't know much about non-binary people could learn something new because it's still a very small population. You know, even within the trans community, non-binary people are still, it's even smaller population than trans people. So it's just, it's a shame that I didn't get to do that. But, you know, I do still have my platform. Like I said, if y'all follow me on Instagram, alexander.tries, like you will see all of the work and effort that I've been putting. I have like over 700 videos of just like very basic information. Like what does transgender mean? What does bisexual mean? What is this? What is that? You know, and I have all that kind of stuff that's what brings me joy and happiness. Like I'm an educator, not a debater. I've learned that through this experience, to be honest. I will fight, but I'm not a debater. And but you know, honestly, like this was actually very eye-opening for me. And I am in this place in my life where I'm like, what's next for me? Because I've been creating content. I started this whole journey by first like starting to do makeup tutorial videos because I was trying to tap into something about myself that I didn't even know existed. Then I found out I'm non-binary. Then I started I kept doing videos with my makeup tutorials, but then I would start like doing like little stories about like, well, you know, when I was a kid, I used to wear dresses and things like that. And I would start, you know, and then I figured out that education was the way I wanted to go. And so now I'm doing all this stuff. But now I'm in this place where I'm kind of feeling like, okay, I'm not reaching as much as I want. What do I need to do next? So next thing I want to do, and I'm going to just drop this in here. I haven't, it's not necessarily like
we want to know your
fully
projects,
realized
you know?
yet, but I actually want to do a series, like a podcast series. I'm going to start with one just series of like, I don't know, 7 episodes, just something like that. I don't want to disclose exactly what I'm going to be talking about yet, but it's going to be in the educational realm. And the best part about all of this is that, again, I don't have to put anybody down to get my point across.
Ooh.
So, you know,
Can you rewind and say that again for the people?
Let me say it again. Hold on. I don't have to put anyone down to get my point across.
Ooh.
So I'm just saying, so that's that. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like, if people are curious about the non-binary experience or my non-binary experience specifically, feel free to reach out to me. Send me a DM. Let me know. My email address is in my thing too. Y'all can email me. Be old school. But also, you know, maybe put yourself out there and like meet other people who are non-binary and maybe learn about their experiences. And maybe you just won't be so scared of them. Anyway, I said a lot, but like honestly, I just feel like there was so much that I didn't get to say. Because of the situation that we were put into. But yeah, I hope that I hope that this will actually get people to look more into what it actually means to be non-binary. I hope this planted the seed. Because the thing is, once you plant that seed, you can't unplant it. It's there. I do this all the time. I do this all the time with my own family. My family's a little bit more conservative. They're good people. They're more conservative, but they're good people, but they're conservative in their own points. They're old school. They're immigrants. Very bizarre.
Gotcha.
You know, and so I always plant seeds with them. I'm always like, but mom, don't you think that sounded a little racist? And then she's like, I don't care. I will call anybody racist. If they're being racist, that's disgusting. Don't be racist. It's that simple. If it's a microaggression, I'm like, Mom, you know what a microaggression is? Let me teach you. This is our responsibility, right, as human beings in this world too, to teach other people, to help them evolve, especially the ones that we're really close to, like our parents that are old school or whatever, or our cousins or whatever. There's still opportunity for you to teach them too. That's a whole other subject we can talk about, but that's why for me, like this whole educational process, doing the podcast that I'm going to do and kind of sticking to education is really, really important to me. More knowledge, less hate.
Well, I have.
Excuse me.
You're good.
Fine.
Edit that out, please.
No, we're going to do the raw, uncut version. We don't show or hide anything, right?
On Patreon.
Right?
Yeah.
$3.
I think my
Jubilee,
allergies-
you're shady for that,
My
okay?
allergies-
Trying to get all
No,
our $3.
that was smart though.
It was.
But
I have a question. Hold on.
It was smart to her base.
It was,
Yeah.
because they're going to make money off it. But I have a question for the two of you, and Alex.
My allergies
you
are
go
just bothering
first,
me.
just so we can catch you up on the allergies.
That's it.
So what advice, since we have this platform, and I'm pretty sure the folks that are, watching this are going to look at our socials, what advice would you give to a non-binary person that is going into a debate now that you have these experiences? And the second question is, what is your favorite moment from the debate? Because it wasn't all bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Advice. So if you were to be a little non-binary baby who's never been at a debate or never debated, first things first, get some really good sleep. Because
Please do.
let me tell you something. When you don't sleep or eat well, you're gonna be in such a badass mood and nothing's gonna come across well. But really, honestly, I think it's just take time to remember that, to be present, number one, because that's really, really important. And from what I learn from my mistakes, don't be yourself, but try not to let people see that they're getting to you. It's human that they're going to get to you, but try not to let them see it. It's difficult, but meditate on it, breathe on it, think about it. Do more than I did. I only watched a couple episodes before I jumped to something. I should have watched more. I should have done more research. So, at the end of the day, I guess maybe the biggest thing is do more research and eat and sleep well. So that's my advice. And then, my favorite part, honestly, it really was like, besides Blair, it really was meeting and like hearing all these other perspectives. Because there were a couple things that I was just like, that the conservatives said that kind of just were like, oh, yeah, I guess I could see it from that perspective. Yeah. And I also agreed with them on a lot of other things. And I know we agreed on each other's things, but it just was it was being kind of just blocked out by all of the noise. But yeah, I honestly, I think it was just really just being in front of these people. We're always in an echo chamber. I said this in the end of the episode, but to be in front of these people and like get the opportunity to actually talk to them in a space that is for that was cool. I just wish it would have been better.